Every game against Kent last week, made runs in the tie against Essex, top scorer for Surrey. But when he was on strike, Surrey needed 1 of 2 deliveries. They picked someone out on the boundary. And there was a run out of the last ball and getting tied.
It's all the rage, you know, the tie. It's all the rage. As folks is, I think, probably looking to guide this somewhere behind square on the offside. He's actually going to get 4 for it. Sure, certainly he wasn't aiming to get it that fine, but Imran Kayam got the dive out of sorts. Goes underneath him and through for 4. So Folks is off the mark. He has 4, 28 for 2. Kent, I'm sure, will be delighted with his start with 1 ball remaining of this 4th over. Hasn't seen a huge amount of the strike last couple of overs. Oh, and he's gone this time. Through the gate, not sure if there was an inside edge there or not, but Folks has gone as well, and this is now turning into a terrific start for the Kent Spitfires. Jax has gone, Evans has gone, and Ben Folks now has to make his way. Bowled by Tim Gronwald for 4.
Yeah, just played round that one. It did run just back in on the angle and with the slope, keeping the top of middle and leg. Ben Folks looking for the on-drive. So he's been in decent touch, 118 and 57 against Kent last week in that Bobblish Trophy match, 44 in the tie against Essex, where he top scored for Surrey. So that was just too good for him. Probably wasn't quite there to drive. He played round it. It was the Ben Folks. Saying these Surrey big names keep coming out, but if they keep walking out, keep walking back, then Kent fans won't mind. Rory Burns. Let's test open at the new man to the crease.
Yeah, Rory Burns. I wonder where you stand on Rory Burns and his type as a T20 player. I'll never forget Alistair Cook innings I saw for Essex against the Spitfires, must be 10 years or so ago now, and everyone was saying, oh, Alistair Cook, you know, he's a test player, one of the best T20 innings I've ever seen. And it was all proper shots. It was just timing, it was making the right call and the right ball to hit.
Yeah, I saw Alistair Cook get a T20 100 at the Oval for Essex against Surrey. Had those kind of shots, certainly at county level in his locker.
That Mills is in for another over, and he's bowling to Hashim Amla, who hasn't seen much of the ball just lately. He's going to get a single here. And Hashim Amla moves on to 12. 29 for 3. Sorry, in the 5th over here.
Yeah, useful man to have coming to the crease, actually, Rory Burns, because it's a rebuilding job. It's not going to be crash bang wallop, you wouldn't have thought. So these guys, these 2 men at the crease, vastly experienced, and none more so, of course, than Hashim Amla. But he needs a foil. He needs someone to stay with him. Burns has that test pedigree. Just 1 or 2 overs of circumspection. Just look to rebuild, because what you don't want from a Surrey's perspective, 29 for 3 to be 35 for 5. Kent can see it very differently.
They will indeed. As you say, 2 ideal men for a rebuilding job. Hashim Amla, Rory Burns. A bit of occupation of the crease. At the end of the day, sorry, at the moment, I should think, as Milnes runs away from the pavilion end. The balls to Rory Burns, who's wrapped on the pad. Big appeal. Nigel Long's not having it. An uncomfortable start for Rory Burns. Big appeal.
Yeah, hit him on the back leg. We get a second look at this, which of course Nigel Long doesn't get. Seeing it from, so I don't know, we're not receiving it from front of him. Mine just a pitched outside leg stump. Didn't really nip back in. I think that's a very fine decision by Nigel Long. Right arm over to a left-handed batsman. You want it just to come back down the hill a fraction. And, like it might have gone on to hit off stump. Just a pitched outside leg.
Close though, very close. It's Milnes again to Rory Burns, who's punching down to mid-on to Imran Kayam, who's been in the action a fair bit already in the field. We'll be expecting to see him with the ball in hand once the power play has concluded, which will be in an over and a half time. 29 for 3. No run off that delivery. Hashim Amla has 12. Will Jack's already gone, Laurie Evans already gone, Ben Folks already gone. Some dangerous players back in the hutch. As Rory Burns pulls this one round behind square. They do come back quickly this time for 2. So Burns is off the mark. It is 2 that he has. Surrey 31 for 3. When I say Surrey players back in the hutch, that's probably the biggest hutch I've ever seen. The Les Ames stand.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many hospitality boxes are open for them. I think it looks like they've got all of them. So maybe 2 or 3 to a box. Kind of keep people separate, even if you're in the same team.
As I said, they can have no complaints, can they, the opposing teams, about the size of their balcony. As Burns goes for a very quick single here down the middle. My word, that would have been close. As Heino Kuhn with the pickup misses the stumps with the underarm throw. Judging by everyone's reaction, that would have been mighty close, but the single is completed.
Yeah, not the man you want to take on. Close to the ground, lightning quick. Underarm flick. If this had been a direct hit, Burns might have been struggling. There was a little bit of hesitation. He just had to come in on the angle, didn't he? Couldn't run straight at it.
Good dive, though. Pressed by the dive. As Matt Milnes bowls to Hashim Amla, who's looking for a quick one down the third man. It's never there. Tim Gronwell picks up, and it's a dot ball to finish the 5th over. And Kent Spitfires will be delighted with the start they have made, with 1 over of the power play remaining. Rory Burns has 3, Hashim Amla has 12. He's seen 3 partners come and go already, and Surrey 32 for.
Now Daniel Bell-Drummond marshals his bowlers here, because as we've seen with the Alex Blake bowling the first over, quite a lot of 2020 cricket, it's quite formulaic. You know, someone bowls the first, then we'll do this, then we'll do that. But when you've got a team on the rack like this, an opportunity to really go for the jugular. Perhaps preordained plans go out the window a little bit. Captains thinking on their feet.
I think we may not see Imran Khayyam straight away after the power play is done.
Well, I think you'll need to bowl at some stage. But yeah, if you think there's a bit in it for your seamers, why wouldn't you carry on with them? Carry on with Tim Grinneville right now. A couple of wickets in his first over. We'll start. Full shot from Burns, who looks to force out onto the offside. With a thick edge.
Yeah, no timing in that, was there? Looking to go leg side there and ends up squirting it out to the offside. Brought the groan, didn't it? Brought the fielder's groan, which is always an encouraging sign.
And Rory Burns not been in the best of form either. Started the Test series in decent form against the West Indies, but rather fell away against Pakistan. Into him now, short ball pulled away. A bit of work to do on the boundary. Good bit of work too. It's a big Zach out there.
It's that sack out there. I'm sure I'm right in what I said the other day when we were here. I'm sure I was lucky enough to interview him before play. He's grown a couple of inches. Always a tall lad, seems to be even taller. Amazing what a great time can do, for a bit of stature can add to you, isn't it?
An inch of a 6'5". So Grinneville bowls again. And it just dabs away on the offside for a single.
Nice to report weather conditions miles better, even though it's overcast at the Spitfire ground today. Miles better than Thursday when we were here. We knew the rain was coming. We did have radar wars, didn't we? Your radar against mine. You paid for yours, I haven't. Yours was wrong, so was mine.
Yeah, it wasn't any better, was it? The suggestions coming in on social media, and do keep those suggestions coming in. Keep your observations. Let us know what you think about the stream, about the Kent performances. We really appreciate you watching us, listening to us, and all your interaction as well. But a lot of people saying, if you knew the rain's coming in, why not start the game a little bit earlier? So going to bowl it in again to Burns, around the wicket. Short ball, and he's pulling. And another great bit of work by Heino Kuhn. Picture of Kent's 2020 campaign so far has been the razor-sharp fielding.
If you're going to wear blue boots, you've got to be good, haven't you? And Heino Kuhn is one of the best, and remains so. See, no spring chicken anymore, Heino Kuhn, but still red hot in the field. Easily beat them and run away for 4.
Full stroke from Amla, looking at a false back down the pitch, thick inside edge. Jack leaning. Looks like he's got one of those arms that means he's going to be permanently on the long. His boundary. Just very smooth, isn't he? Like a Rolls Royce in the field. Other expensive brands of vehicle are available, of course, but yeah, just purring around the deep square boundary. One bounce, and in it comes.
Seen a couple of those, haven't we? Those full shots, both right and left hand already. chokes off the run this time.
Yeah, I think he just wanted Mark Newell up a bit. Sometimes bowlers, particularly when they're around the wicket and they come from behind the umpire, they like the umpire to stand in a certain place. And so Mark Newell went walkabout, but he wasn't quite where Tim Grindelwald wanted him as he starts again from the Nackington Road end. Slow ball. Did Rory Burns like a kipper? The only thing that saved the England Test opener was the bounce straight over the top of off stump. He's looking for something agricultural away on the leg side. Just thrashed at fresh air.
Yeah, the scoreboard says that's over, but no ball is being signalled here, so that won't quite be the end of the power play. I was just going to say what a terrific over it's been, just the 4 singles. We've gone on 2 for 13, but we now have a free hit. So he's done plenty of hard work, he's got to do a bit more.
Yeah, maybe Mark Newell not too happy about being told where to stand, but yeah, well, this won't please Daniel Bell-Drummond because a really good over. Let's just get the batting side momentum going. Yorker, good delivery. Burns digs out. He's just going to get a single as Kuhn once again does the fielding.
Smart, very smart from Grindelwald. And that will do it for the power play. 39 for 3. Surrey after 6 overs. So the Kent Spitfires, most definitely the happier of the two sides so far, with 3 very powerful batsmen already back in the Les Ames stand, the away team dressing room. Will Jacks has gone. Laurie Evans has gone with a real leg side triangle and bonus. And also we've seen the end of Ben Folkes, who's bowled by Gronwald, so a couple of wickets for Tim Gronwald. 39 for 3. It's similar actually to the Hampshire game here on Thursday, wasn't it? 3 wickets down in the power play, not too many on the board. Again, most definitely the happier of the two teams so far, the Spitfires, but as you mentioned earlier, if it's a rebuilding job, which this is, can't be too many better candidates good there than Hashim Amla and Rory Burns.
Well, experienced campaigners, but partnership 11 off 13, so whilst it's rebuilding, it's not doing so at any great pace. Kent won't mind as Stewart begins his spell. Burns is slipping away into the leg side. He'll be looking for 2, but Blake is lightning fast. And we've already seen from Hashim Amla, is there any doubt he will stay put?
You're hard pressed to get any bonus runs against Alex Blake, wouldn't you? A misfield from Blake was a very, very rare item, like hen's teeth. Extremely rare. Do you like that shirt? Well, Alex Blake, he's got his, from where we're sitting, his back to us, that Spitfire engine just above his right buttock. Love it.
Oh, and Hamler all round a straight one there. A bit thick inside edge. Could have missed that, he would have been on his way. Grants to a full and straight. So he gets a single. His job, Amla, here will be to bat for the majority of these 20 overs. The likes of Burns and Lauder to add the momentum. Straight, Burns is clipping with a straight bat. Once again, it's played lightning fast across this outfield, sliding right over the top of the bails. That is high quality work from Alex Blake. It's been a real feature of this T20 campaign. They were excellent against Hampshire, carrying on from where they left off.
Yes, superbly, weren't they, on Thursday? Bowlers must feel that, mustn't they, if they're being backed up to such a high level in the field.
This time to Amla, pushing into the leg side. Thinking about a second. Burns wanted it. It's Amla with the outstretched hands pulling in the flying.
Harry Popple just walked across in front of us. White socks and flip-flops. I'm thinking that only Harry Popple can get away with that and pull it off.
That's what kids wear these days. Like kids are always white socks and flip-flops.
What are your kids?
Yeah, they're 13 and 15.
There we go.
Burns clipping, and he's found the gap. He's going to have some work to do here. He stops it. He's going to get some help from Alex Blake. This time the batsman to come through for 2. Half a misfield from Jacqueline, but did pretty well. Really in.
Well backed up, wasn't he, by Alex Blake? There may have been a time gone by when the fielder who's furthest from the ball wouldn't bother. Because they work in pairs, don't they? Sometimes all in pairs. Always amazes me still, those catches they take when they're airborne over the boundary and lob it back and someone else completes the catch. As you say, Kent, very good in the field these opening stages of the Blast this year.
Stewart straight once again. He's going to mop up on the boundary. That is that arm. Another throw. Jordan Cox doesn't have to move a millimetre forward. Stuff from Lena and Blake. We've got the long boundary to deal with. And Zach Crawley on the short boundary. And I just wonder that attention to detail still. It's pretty central, isn't it? But I just think you get your tall men on the boundary, someone like a Zach Crawley. The difference between a catch being taken and not sometimes is just the height of a fielder. So it's not by chance that these guys are operating on defence.
The difference between 4 runs and 1 as well, can't it? And the slide comes out from the tall man. We are going to see there's been an Imran Khan with his left arm at the Nackington Road end to Rory Burns. That's 11 from 13.
Interesting to see Khan from the Nackington Road end. The slope working against his natural delivery, which we can see the ball go up the slope. Not the end he operated from against Hampshire as he's round the wicket. Burns is reverse sweeping, gets a good piece of it, and it's going to go all the way. That is 6. What a shot that is from Rory Burns. You think of Burns as a test opener, but all these players have got the tricks these days. It's a full toss, and he nailed it.
Well, there we are. Rory Burns, as you say, you think of him as a red ball player. And look what he's able to do. Look at the skills these players have. Now takes it on the full toss. Takes it off his ankles and puts it in the empty seats.
Kind of riposte. As Kyan got. This is going to be a single this time. So decent batting from Burns. Get a 6, get a single. Let's see what Hashim Amla can do. Not the start that Imran Khan would have wanted.
Your kids, how old? So they're at 13 and 11.
No, 15 and 13.
15 and 13.
15 and 13.
Sorry.
And, this one's got the chain.
Yeah.
White socks, flip-flops. Sliders, I think they call them.
Are they?
Yeah, they call them flip-flops. Sliders.
Songs, aren't they, in Australia? Songs, man.
Pamela once again. Trademark nudge into the leg side. It's just going to be the single.
What you're saying is a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, who I would say, yeah, they're kids. And you're saying that Harry Podmore's in the same category.
I think Harry Podmore will probably be the first to admit he's a big kid. Burns once again on the reverse sweep, and once again he's nailed it. Can lean and get to it, he can, and there's a good bit of football, good bit of footwork. His dad was a professional footballer, wasn't he? He was a York City goalkeeper. Bit of goalkeeping on the boundary there from Jack Leaning. Stopped it with his hand and then reeled it in with his foot.
Harry Kane. That looked like it was going to get away from him, didn't it, down the slope? Just got the block out with the boot. Very, very, very good awareness.
Good bit of work off his own bowling. Important that as well, because this over in the context of a low-scoring start, it's been expensive. A rare dot ball. Burns flips away, sharp single. Amla responded quickly. A comfortable one.
The comeback from Imran Khan as well after that 6 to start the over, to start his spell. Rory Burns got the reverse out, and on the full toss, flicked it into the seats in front of the flats. And as I mentioned the other day, I'd love to know what the premium is on those flats now, because they're the only people from the general public that can watch this game live.
Yeah, it's a good shout, and a lot of them are out there. It's not a bad view, is it, from up there? I think I've been told there's a Fulton Lounge in there.
Is there?
Fulton Lounge and a Walker Lounge. He's probably got a higher floor than me. But yeah, I thought the only thing that was named after myself for walks were the toilet cubicles in the pavilion. I had the left one, Walks had the right one, but I think there's a lounge. So Stewart begins a new over. He's bowling to Burns, who's on the kind of sweep. He's just going to get a single. Didn't time it, bottom edge.
Give you 3 initials there. T, M and I. Too much information. David Fulton cubicle. Don't really believe in regrets, but if I did, it would be one of my life's regrets that I've never seen it and certainly never used it.
Lovely bit of bowling from Grant Stewart. Change of pace. Hashim Amla all ends up. The slower ball's been effective here by bowlers.
Mixing it up nicely, aren't they, actually? Slower balls. inches in length. Obviously, that's the name of the game for any bowler in Vitality Blast cricket, but Stewart doing it well here.
A couple of paces down the wicket from Amler, driving down the ground. It's just going to be the single as Stewart flung himself to try and get the return catch. He's always going to evade him.
I was going to say as well, these variations are getting the better of some very, very good players here. Hashim Amla and Rory Burns.
Stewart in again. It's wide outside the off stump. Lets it go. Nothing from Nigel Long. Signals that is the last ball of the over coming up. My son is abusing me, listening to the stream. Not impressed, I'm sharing with the world, but these socks, flip-flops.
I talked to my dad like that, but certainly didn't.
As Stewart is bowling and Burns knocking it down the ground again. Good finish to the over. Another ball, I'm miscounting. My fault, 60 for 3, 1 ball remaining.
Got to finish it off here as well, hasn't he? Because it's been a really good over so far. Another one. Just the 3 singles, couple of dots.
Amler shuffling across. Change of pace once more. Just nudges it into the offside. So Amler under a run of ball at the minute. A couple of weeks in quarantine. First game competitively since January. Just looking a little bit rusty. And those Kent bowling figures make pretty attractive reading. Look at that from Klassen. 1 for 2. Here's one. Over. Sorry, 61 for 3 off 9. Burns, 19 off 20. 23 off 21 respectively. That's Stewart. Good over going for
Yes, if you haven't played any cricket for quite some time, you've flown a fair distance and you've been in quarantine, you might want a little bit of strike, you might need to get some rhythm. He hasn't seen loads of it. Still there. We know what a quality player he's been for so many years. It's Hashim Amla. 19 currently, as you say, just less than a run a ball. Well, Rory Burns so far, considering that some think he's a red ball player. It's very comfy out there to me.
On the reverse is Amler, and he's got it fine. A run away. I think they might just pull it in. Hot pursuit. It's Grunewald. He can't get it down the hill. Should know better, shouldn't I? At Canterbury can run away. Stewart and Grunewald are in pursuit of that one, but lovely bit of touch from Amler. Rolls away for 4.
Yeah, he looks as though he's about to get the slide out there, didn't he, Tim Grunewald? And then at the very last second, thought better of it. Maybe the knees gave way a bit, I'm not sure. He's just about to go down and then backs out of it. The ball does run away very quickly down there.
That delivery from Kyan was just forced into the leg side for the single. Kent won't mind that. Just an inkling here that Surrey are targeting Kent's left arm spinner. 9 for 16 now off 8 deliveries.
Believe that. The way the junior Fultons were talking to Fulton Senior, I can't believe it. As I say, I never spoke to my dad like that, but there were no mobile phones in those days, so.
Zero respect, Steve. Zero respect to probably be in my house.
Maybe minus, I think.
And Comes around the wicket to Burns, who's on the pull this time, and he's going to pick out the man on the deep mid-wicket fence, who reels it in. Is that Blake? It's Blake, isn't it?
It's Blake.
Where's he going now? I'm just watching how far Alex Blake runs between deliveries, just coming in on the one. He's been down on the fence in front of us. He's on the far hospital side of the ground as Amla turns into the leg side. Just ticking the strike over Hashim Amla. Boundary early in the over. Decent one for Surrey, 7 off, first 4 balls.
There goes Blake again, motoring back out to the hospital side of the ground, in front of the Girling solicitors ad board. Big block of empty seats.
Shuffling down the wicket, clips into the leg side, and it is that man, Alex Blake, who was, as he always seems to be, busy in the field. Well, John would be keen to get his best fielders in positions where the ball goes most often. That is certainly the case today.
Loving this, Blake, won't he? In shot, he'll be loving that.
Just tossed up by Guy. Amla content to just push for the single. Leaning fields. Decent over. Surrey won't mind it either. 9 runs from. 70 for 3 off 10. This rebuilding job going nicely now. Partnership 42 up 37.
So halfway through the Surrey innings, 70 for 3. Imran Khayyam, 2 overs, no wicket for 20, but doesn't quite tell the story that because both overs, the first ball has been sent to the boundary at 6 and a 4. He's come back well. So 0 for 20, 0 for 20 from 2 overs. The lies just how well he's bowled, actually. Grant Stewart, we've seen plenty of variations from Grant Stewart. He's going to start a new over from the pavilion end. He's bowling to Hashim Amla, who's driving, not quite timing it. And he's picking out Zach Crawley, who's run round from long off. Ping one into Jordan Cox. Very easily distinguishable Cox with those. The outside wicket-keeping gloves look enormous on him. It is, which will bring the left-handed Rory Burns back on the strike. Burns has 25. He's slashing this one out to the man on the cover boundary. Passing out there. May feel he missed out a bit there, Rory Burns. 2 for 3.
Yeah, just looking at Burns' numbers, 43 T20s he's played, just a 150, high score of 50. Doesn't get a lot of opportunity when Surrey are at full strength, doesn't always make their white ball side. He made his debut in 2012 in T20 cricket.
Amla just waits for this one. Seemingly waits a long time. Pings it out to Fred Clarkson again for a single. Just think a good player is a good player, whatever the format.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but again, you average of 15.68, strike rate of 122. I think because he's been so prolific for Surrey in red ball cricket, it's probably been an opportunity to rest him as well.
Grant Stewart around the wicket to Rory Burns. Just rolled the wrist on that one. Grant Stewart keeping those variations coming, doing a good job with them. Another single.
Before Burns got into that England team, he was of course Surrey's captain in the 4-day fortnight. They won the championship. Set his stall out as being an old-fashioned classic red ball opener.
Grant Stewart's back over the wicket to Hashim Amla. Did a bit of a leg break, that one. Which Hashim Amla, with all his experience and all his class, is quite happy to stand there and seemingly wait an age for and flick it away through mid-wicket and pick up another single. So it's 75 for 3, just over the halfway point of this Surrey innings. 3 wickets down during the power play. Be interesting to see when they decide to put their foot on the gas here. Stewart bowls to Rory Burns, a loopy one. Fred Clarkson's been busy in this over. It's on the cover boundary for the left-handed Rory Burns. Slides, stops it, single it is. 6 singles from that over. Another good one from Grant Stewart. No wicket for 17 from 3. Surrey 76 for 3.
Yeah, 6 singles, we say in 2020 cricket. The singles don't really hurt you. It is a rebuilding job for Burns and Amla. And Amla 29 off 27. Fascinating to see when he just goes through the gears. If he's a good enough touch to go through the gears. At the moment, I say second or third gear. Surrey will want him to kick on, maybe get 50 or 60. He needs to start up in the ante a little bit. Burns has been the more fluent of the two. So he's not a rip-roaring strike rate, 28 off 26, just a little bit better than the run ball. So, yeah, plenty of batting to come, 9 overs remaining. Conversations between the two will be about this change of gear. Can they find a boundary?
Brett Clarkson's back into the attack at the Nackington Road and started his second over. Superb figures so far. 1 over, 1 wicket for 2. He's bowling to Rory Burns. He knocks it down to mid-off for a single, which was always there. The shy came in from Matt Milnes, but comfortable single, comfortably home. Brett Clarkson's wicket. First one of the match. Will Jacks drove it straight into the hands of Alex Blake for 3. Other wickets to go. Laurie Evans will be gutted to have got a leg side strangle for 9. Caught by Jordan Cox and the bowling of Tim Gronwald, who also removed Ben Folkes. Want to go through the gate. Well, Folkes was gone. 28 for 3 it was after 4 overs. So decent rebuild going on here by Hashim Amla and Rory Burns. Amla this time is looking to cut away. He done by a little bit of bounce there. Goes through to Jordan Cox.
Done by a bit of bounce, bit of angle as well, round the wicket to the right-handed Amla, just cramping him for room to cut, but the ball came down the slope. And Cox taking it on the leg side of the stumps, wasn't it? So good bit of bowling from Klassen. It's been impressive.
Glorious sunshine now at the Spitfire grounds. Clarkson's in. Oh, and he's going to get 6 here, Hashim Amla. The big dive came out from, I say the big dive, it was the goalkeeper's dive, wasn't he? Trying to keep it out in the top corner, Jack leaning. Gets a fair piece of it, but can't grab it. Palms it over the rope.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad would have made of this. Professional goalkeeper Jack Leaning's father back in the day, and yeah, just tipped it over the crossbar for a corner, but perhaps he would have been hoping to have got hold of that and maybe flicked it back in field. Good attempt.
Yeah, the old man would have been happy with that. No run off this ball. That was going top corner, and he just flicked it over the bar. Put it out for a corner. Sadly in cricket, it's a bad result.
It doesn't quite work in cricket, does it? But it's the point you made earlier about the two fielders that are on that leg side fence kind of converging. Can you catch it, flick it to your mate? We see it time and time again, don't we? It's the T20.
Travelled a bit too fast, that one. This time around, Hashim Amla is pulling sedately to Grant Stewart, who throws back in. The single is accrued. That's 84 for 3. Rory Burns, who's on strike now, 29 from 27 balls. Hashim Amla, 36 from 31. Brett Clarkson's on his way again from the Nackington Road end. Left arm over to Rory Burns. Waits for it. Pushes it into the mid-wicket region to Alex Blake, who I'm sure, having fielded that, will be trotting off to a new position. In fact, he will be, because that's the end of the over. So 85 for 3, 12 overs gone. Fred Clarkson, 1 for 11 from his 2 overs. Rory Burns 30, Hashim Amla 36. Partnership building nicely. That accelerator is waiting for a foot. When does it go on?
Well, I think it started to go on. I think. Slow start because of that rebuild. We'll expect some Surrey fireworks.
Rodwald running away from the Frank Woolley stand to bowl to Rory Burns. He'll pick up another single. To the offside, Daniel Bell Drummond was wearing the armband for Kent. Sam Billings away on international duty. Joe Denley is an interesting one for you, Dave. Joe Denley, make sure I get this right, in the T20 squad for Australia, not the 50 over. One more balls to Amla. Pushing firmly, driving almost down to Haino Coombe with the blue boots. Another single, 87 for 3.
it's a funny one, isn't it? I mean, we saw with Ben Folkes, who was in the bubble for a lot of the early part of this Test summer. You could be with England and not play. Kent fans would love to see Joe Dudley playing for Kent.
Big shout this time from Grunwald. Rory Burns gets in a bit of a pickle there. That's a leg by. Question was asked of Nigel Long there. Let's see a replay of that one.
Yeah, our director might give us a replay of that one if we're lucky. But yeah, around the wicket, might have just shuffled across. Nigel Long, one of the best in the business.
Delighted to see Nigel Long standing in glorious sunshine. He's going to put his arms out here, surely. He is for a wide, slower ball. The old radar was a little bit off from Grunwald.
Yeah, but to go back to Joe Denley, I mean, England will want him playing cricket. Kent will want him playing cricket, and if he's surplus to requirements, as has been the case in the T20 so far against Pakistan, the problem is with these bubbles, you can't just send someone back to play.
Next side again from Grunwald. This time it's flicked away by Hashim Amla for another single. Seems to be the way of it at the moment. Singles coming. 90 for 3. A couple of balls remaining of the 13th over. This is delightful compared to Thursday here against Hampshire. Apparently yesterday was the coldest August bank holiday on record in the UK. Wider ball from Grunwald. Slapped away by Rory Burns. And yet again, it is a single. We had to widen the over, so we got the extra ball to come. Feel that cold, does it? Coldest August bank holiday. I'm not sure that was here, maybe in Scotland. That's global warming for you. As Grunwald is in. He gets the old football skills out again. Not the first time we've seen that, and manages to hit the stumps. However, Rory Burns was well in his ground. Mark Newell gave it a good stooping look. No finger was forthcoming.
It was all happening, wasn't it? Rory Burns was sliding in. The batsman all smiles. Might not have been the case had he been run out, but Grunwald was quickly onto it. It's 2020 cricket for you. Batsmen scrambling, sliding, bowlers kicking balls on the stumps. Two for 3. 7 overs remaining. So yeah, probably want 150, 160.
Imran Khayyam returns to the attack at the Mackington Road end. Left arm around the wicket to Hashim Amla, who's going to get 4 for this. That's a pretty damn fine shot, you know. Through extra cover, wide mid-off, and with very little fuss, was raced away to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, quality shot from Amla, in to out. Just waited here, then down the wicket, gave himself a bit of room, but that bat swing, you know, aiming through extra cover, he could have just knocked that straightforwardly down to mid-off. But he went in to out, got the 4.
So another Khayyam over has started with a boundary. Previous 2 have as well, but he's come back well. Just a single this time to Hashim Amla, moves on to 44.
The batsman will target bowlers early in the over. If you can get that boundary away, takes the pressure off, allows you just to knock the singles around, maybe wait for the bad ball. You've got to find that boundary at some point, so try and do it early.
That little cock of the right leg from Khayyam as he starts his run up. He's beaten Rory Burns here, who's actually struck on the back leg, I think that was. Looking to deposit that somewhere over the hospital side of the ground, bowled. Beauty of the spinner in T20 cricket, it's quick. And this time Burns is down again. Gets it behind square for a single to Zach Crawley. Rory Burns on to 33, run a ball 33. Doing a good job for his team here. 98 for 3. Surrey in a spot of bother when these two came together. Maybe more than a spot. As Hashim Amla pushes one down to long off. Heino Kuhn is down there. Windscreen of the ambulance gleaming away. Of course, that's one thing we're missing, isn't it? The calls for windscreens to be covered. That is a Canterbury tradition. That is what we're missing. As Burns gets down on one knee again. finds Alex Blake on the mid-wicket boundary. And it's another single. So again, Imran Khan has gone for a boundary first ball. And again, he's come back well.
100 up for Surrey. 3 off 14. Long for the shout of please cover your windscreen. It's been great to see fans back. It's been great that we've been able to get the cricket on. Great that the counties, the ECB, the PCA, everyone has played ball. It's been really collaborative. As I mentioned the other day, it's done their bit to get cricket on. That's been the main thing. But it's not the same game without the fans. This ground will be packed out for a Kent Surrey match.
Would be, wouldn't it? Packed out, great atmosphere, lights on. Grant Stewart back into the attack, 3 overs, no wicket for 17. Used the variations really well, Grant Stewart. He's around the wicket to Rory Burns. He hasn't got this cleanly. It's got aerial, 2 fielders are converging on it. I'm not sure the call came. Not quite sure he would have reached the fielder anyway. They for 2 runs. Not in control of that at all, Rory Burns.
Well, this was up in the air a long time and probably should have been taken, but it was just a confusion. Fielder there coming in, I think it was Class, just caught the fielder coming towards him out of the corner of his eye, and he just backed off it. It was the game that saw Rory Burns and Moses Enrique's clash and broken jaws and all sorts. That was very messy. Just avoided that fate down.
Good divot, a great divot. Got 9-iron, Chai comes in this time.
Yeah, had a similar feel about it. Rory Burns, fielder on that occasion at Arundel, he was tearing in the deep cover fence, and Enriques was going out over the other way around, but they were just both eyes glued to the ball, going full pace at it. Heads clashed. Yeah, Burns was in hospital for a few days, broken jaw in several places. They were both knocked out. Yeah, it was horrendous. So, just as well they bailed out then, the Kent fielders.
I remember seeing that slow new view on from Grant Stewart. Waits for it, picks up a single to Jack leaning. Yeah, I do remember watching some footage of that clash. That was horrible, wasn't it? And then what is it about the human psyche? It's like, do you know what? I think I need to see that again. I'm just going to get my position behind the sofa and through the cracks of the fingers, I'm going to watch it again. And Stewart rolling to Rory Burns, a wide one, which it's a thickish edge to terrific stop. Jordan Cox reacted very quickly to prevent any runs there.
Yeah, good bit of work by Jordan Cox. First time he's taken the gloves from Kent this summer. Yeah, there's nothing to say about watching the car crashes. I suppose he's been struck in the eye. That's on YouTube. People have watched that thousands and thousands of times. Nice to contribute something to people's entertainment for once.
Yeah, I think I'm in double figures watching that. Rory Burns is going straight down the ground this time to Heino Kuhn. He is at long on. Throws it far into the wicket-keeper. So it's 1 more. Burns 38 and the 46.
That game at Arundel, the T20 match between Sussex and Surrey, was abandoned. There's a big crowd in. Early in the first innings of the game, so the crowd was very understanding. They know the game was going to continue. 2 guys knocked out.
The ball of Grant Stewart spell this. No wicket for 23 he will end up with as Hashim Amla waits for it, dabs it down into the offside for another single. So 6 runs from Grant Stewart's final over. 4 overs, no wicket for 23. Fine spell, no wickets for him, but he's bowled terrifically well. Plenty of variations for him there. 15 overs through, so 5 to go. Sorry, still with 7 wickets in hand here.
Yeah, just looking at those bowling figures, they're up on your screen. Kayam going at over 9s, Blake at 10s. So Surrey targeting the spinners, but there's been a bit in it for the seamers. Bit of old spinner over 7s. Leon's Stewart, class and excellent. Anything under 6 in T20 cricket is exceptional. Not all of them are done yet, so Surrey will hope to ruin those figures somewhat. Grant Stewart, 4 overs for 23. Absolutely right, Steve's done his bit. It's going to be, I think that looks like Matt Milnes. He's going to return at the Nackington Road end. Burns and Hashim Amla just regroup. The glove punch. It's been a fine innings by Hashim Amla. At least circumspect, wasn't he, to start with? Wickets falling around him, just showing all that experience. Where a lot of players might have given it away, getting a bit bogged down, just knocked the singles. With that 6 over mid-wicket, little reverse sweep, and before you know it, he's approaching 50 at a decent lick.
Too clever, too classy, too experienced, too good to get out like that. But sorry, more bother.
As Milnes is in, And Amler is driving, and he's going to get 4 for it, threading the eye of a needle there. Short third man, backward point, third man up in the circle. And Amler goes to 50. Fine innings, 51 off 40. That is what Hashim Amler can do to you.
Reminds me rather of the innings that Joe Weatherly played here for Hampshire on Thursday when they were in a sort of a target. Surrey at the moment positioned to put themselves a bigger target than Hampshire posted here on Thursday.
This is in again, Amler digging out the Yorker, and Mills is in quickly. Shy of the stumps. Cox blocks it, just goes old school. Like a John Terry bit of defending, wasn't it? Just threw himself at it to block the ball. Better than I did the youngster.
Going to see more football skills then from that Mills. Elected in the end to pick up and throw rather than booted onto the stumps.
Hashim Amler's 28.50 in addition to a couple of hundreds in T20 cricket. Coming off 40 balls, 4 fours, 1 6.
Got a message from Surrey scorer.
Slow ball Yorker. Turn into the leg side, leading edge. Plus with the fielding, they scamper through for a single.
Rather more respectful than the message from your children to you. Hello Phil, filmmate piece. But to hear you on the very biased in capital letters live stream. I was just saying how good Hashim Amler was.
This is into the aforementioned Hashim Amler, who cuts into the offside. Bit of work to do here for Zach Crawley down on that fence, I think so. Yeah, Zach Crawley throws in. Hashim Amler this time scampers through for 2. Bias on the Kent stream, representing Kent. Steve Watts sitting in his Kent jumper. As we commentate against the arch enemy Surrey, also known as winless in 2020 Surrey.
Yeah, you see, you said this stuff, not me. I haven't said this.
I like going to the Kyoto.
I like going to the Kyoto.
So it's in again, slow ball. And it was just thought twice about it there, Martin. Your Amler lets it go. Stretches the arms. So good try from Mills. It's going to bowl it again.
Very sad to report that here we are in September, and it's actually the first time this summer that the Kent hoodie has been worn. And I realised that at 9:30 this morning it hadn't been put through the wash since last summer.
It's a lovely shot from Amler's driving. It's down the ground, and Newell this time it's not signalling wide, he's signalling 4. As we see Fred Klassen go to fetch the ball back. No crowd to throw it back. Can we have it back, please? And a quality shot from Hashim Amler, mid off up in the circle, and just went straight over the top. That Mills is a stretch left bar.
Be allowed anyway, would it? If there was a crowd in, we're not allowed to touch the ball.
You can kick it back, you can flick it out from the boards. Just a bouncer, swivels on it. He's going to get just the one. It's hurrying through his Hashim. Yeah, you have to return the ball, not by touching it, bring it out with your feet. Maybe Steve Watts would probably flick it up and then volley it back in over the top of the stumps.
Forget it was a cricket ball headed. What happens then if the ball starts coming towards us? We're down just in front of the lime tree cafe. It's careering towards us. And it's going to hit us. And we throw our hands up to protect ourselves. We get thrown out of the ground.
I don't know about that. But we probably have to sanitise, and the ball would have to be wiped clean. But, they're not sure where we've been, you see, whereas they've been in their bubble altogether, so they're allowed to touch the ball.
I know where I've been. I'm not telling anyone else.
So Tim Grindelwald starting a new over. It's going to be bowling to Amler, full toss. He's just going to push it down the ground for 1. Just seems in no hurry. I'd like to see him take it up to 60.
Class, isn't it? Pure class when someone seemingly is never hurried. Which is to see one of the good stories from here for Surrey. Three wickets down, it's been that way for a long time.
Burns at run ball 39 at the moment, swings this into the leg side. Blake Fields. onto Amler. Swats this away. Once again, good bit of bowling, good bit of field placing from Bill Drummond. Klassen throws back in just a single.
Yeah, that is the question, isn't it? Probably happy for one of these to bat through to the end, and someone else to come in and give it a bit of a belt in these final 3.5 overs. Orpik, I think, is due in next.
It's a nice shot, and that is a change of gear from Rory Burns, smashing this one through extra cover. Got absolutely all of it. Looked like a slower ball from Grunewald. And the first boundary, Burns has hit in a while. Klassen goes behind the balls for it, but a bit of aggression from Rory.
Right on cue, there he was. Asked him if he had the acceleration. In no uncertain terms, he pasted that away for 4 runs.
This one is swung into the leg side. Look at the two. Amler is hurrying this time, but Blake, as he's done so often, slides around on the one knee. He's up into a throwing position so quickly. He's not going to take his arm on. So, again, I think Alex Blake's about 4, maybe 5 runs up in the field, I reckon. So,
maybe a couple more. Love the fact that he can just keep control when sliding on the knee like that.
Another slow ball from Tim Grunewald, forced out to the deep cover region where Jack Leaning has also had a good game in the field. Maybe that half chance and parried over the bar for 6. So on the ground has been excellent. Completes another over. Just 3 overs remaining, 129 for 3. That's a good score, Steve.
I'd be looking at 10 and over at least, wouldn't you, from the final 3? So that gets you to around about 160. If you can get it near a 170 from the position Surrey were in the power play when that 3rd wicket went down, I'm sure they'll be absolutely delighted. Kent Spitfires, I'm certain, would be quite happy on chase down 160, 170 from where Surrey were. That's a terrific effort, as you mentioned several times. And one of these two have got out quickly. Surrey would have been in all sorts of bother. The fact that they're on the post, at the very least, maybe a competitive score is a testament to these two.
So it's going to be Klassen going round the wicket to Amler. Tucks him up, he's flicked it into the leg side. That has been swatted away towards our camera position of deep square leg. No one moved, apart from Jack Leaning, who's going to go behind the boundary balls to throw the ball back. One of the most effortless 6s you can wish to see.
That left the back, you knew that was going all the way. It's nonchalantly almost, wasn't it?
And that's the problem with the angle. Klassen coming round the wicket cramps him up. We saw last time with that angle, but if he gets it to leg side, just help it on its way. Drop kicked it for 6. That's once you've got a response slow ball. Into the offside coup, having a shy, but danger for the Surrey batsman. At the start of the over, they've gone past the 100 partnership. You see the way Amler, who was behind Burns in terms of the strike rate, 19 off 21, now 69 off 49, was Burns still hovering around that run of ball. Just last in South Africa.
Lack of cricket and the quarantine seem to be doing too much damage to Hashim Amla.
Yeah, that was my best theory. Very soon went out the window. Klassen back over the wicket to Danny Burns. Shuffling across and slog sweeping, and he's got a decent piece of this as well. Great shot from Rory Burns. He missed it. I think it was good night for him, but he didn't. They're treating the left arm seamer with disdain, really. Shot this is.
Tim Grunewald's down on the boundary at 5 leg. Matt Mills is out there at deep backward square, bisected them perfectly, raced to the boundary, crashed into the blue Spitfire board in front of the Colin Cowdrey stand.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing about that shot. The picking of the gap, he went right across, knowing that that was the gap he was looking for. Used the pace. Klassen looking to respond. Burns is across once more, and he was aiming in the same kind of area, but it's just going to be a single. Mansfield.
50 for Rory Burns, 50 off 44 balls with a terrific partnership with Hashim Amla, which has got Surrey up to 141 with 14 balls remaining. So 141 for 3. Still very much on for that 160 plus, maybe a fraction more, maybe around about the 170 mark.
In to Amler, it's another good looking stroke over the offside. Just Picking out Zach Crawley, just the single. Burns going to his 52nd 50 in T20 cricket, equals his career best of exactly a half century. 4 deliveries, 2 4s, 1 6.
Pretty good hand it has been. For the old blue places here, Rory Burns. Up to back on, and he'll be ready to face Fred Clarkson, who has one more to go to finish off the 18th over. 1 for 24, Fred Clarkson.
Bouncer, attempted hook, and Mark Newell looks over at Nigel Long. It's nothing called, so dot ball, good finish to the over from Classen. She's with the dot.